की तरफ से विद्यार्थी विज्ञान मंथन के 22-23 के नेशनल लेवल कैंप में आप सबका स्वागत करती हूँ। और अब हम ज़्यादा विलम्ब किए बगैर अपने डिग्निटरीज़ को ऑन द डायस बुलाएंगे। मैं निवेदन करती हूँ हमारे नेशनल कन्वीनर जनरल डॉक्टर अरविंद जी रानाडे, आप प्लीज़ डिग्निटरीज़ को अपने साथ ऊपर लाएं। डिग्निटरीज़ में हमारे साथ में आज हैं Dr. Murthy, who is the director of IISER. Then we have Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, who is the director, the most important board for you people, CBSC. We have with us Dr. Chandrabhas Narayan, director of Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology. We also have with us Dr. C. Anantharamakrishnan, director of the NIIST. So please welcome, I welcome all of you to please come on to this dais. And also we have with us Vivekanand Pai ji. We have Prashant Kodgire ji. And we have Dr. Brajesh Pandey ji. Arvind ji, up. Okay. Dr. Murlidhar is also with us. We are very pleased to have him. Arvind ji, I request you to please bring them on the dais. थैंक यू अरविंद जी। इसके साथ हम आज का प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करते हैं और स्टार्ट करने से पहले हमारी जो ट्रेडिशन है, आज हम लाइटिंग ऑफ द लैम्प, उसका एक सिग्निफिकेंस ये है बच्चों कि आप सबको पहले तो बहुत बहुत बधाई हो कि आप लोग स्टेट लेवल कैंप कंप्लीट करके यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं। प्लीज़ क्लैप फॉर योरसेल्फ। आपकी साइंटिफिक जर्नी का एक पड़ाव पूरा हुआ। अब इसके आगे आपका बहुत बहुत ब्राइट फ्यूचर रहे, उसके लिए लेट्स लाइट द लैम्प. सो आई वुड इनवाइट द डिग्निटरीज एंड Dr. Arvind ji to come onto the dais and light the lamp. And with me I have two state coordinators with me, Dr. Kamla and Dr. Jyoti, who are helping me. And I also invite one of our students, Swarnika, to please come onto the stage and sing the praise for our goddess Saraswati to give us knowledge and wisdom.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषार हारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्ड मण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दितां सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मचारसार परमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीं अभयदां जाड्याजकारापहा हस्ते स्वाटिकमालिकां विदधती परमासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरी भगवती बुद्धिप्रदां शारदां भक्तिप्रदां शारदां सन्मतिप्रदां शारदाम्.
Thank you, Swarnima, for this beautiful devotional song. यहाँ से अब हम आगे का कार्यक्रम स्टार्ट करते हैं. सबसे पहले मैं डिग्निटरीज का वेलकम करना चाहूँगी विथ फ्लावर्स. एंड जो वेलकम करने आ रहे हैं वो हमारे स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं. लेट मी टेल यू, स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स की मेहनत के बगैर आप लोग यहाँ नहीं होते, और ना ही वीवीएम का जो इतना सक्सेसफुल इवेंट्स रहे हैं वो पॉसिबल होते. तो एक तरीके से हम स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहते हैं उनकी मेहनत के लिए. एंड थोड़ा सा हम ये भी चाहते हैं कि हमारे डिग्निटरीज़ भी उनको जानें. तो मैं एक एक करके कुछ स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स को यहाँ पे इनवाइट करना चाहूँगी कि वो फूल देकर हमारे डिग्निटरीज़ को यहाँ पे वेलकम करें. आई एम सॉरी कि हम सबको नहीं बुला पाएंगे, लेकिन हम सब के शुभकामनाएँ और हम सब का थैंक्स आप सबके साथ में है. तो लेट मी फर्स्ट कॉल सुधाकर जी, जो हमारे एंगेजमेंट कमेटी के मेंबर हैं, बहुत ही इंटीग्रल पार्ट हैं वीवीएम के. सुधाकर जी, आई थिंक एज यूजुअल ही मस्ट बी बिजी. सुधाकर जी, I request you to please welcome Dr. Murthy ji with a flower. Sudhakar ji himself is a scientist at CSIR lab. Thank you, Sudhakar ji. After this, I invite Dr. Mayuri ma'am, our co-convener of VVM. Mayuri ma'am is again busy somewhere. Kaustubh, who is our co-convener as well, to please welcome Dr. Emmanuel. No, okay. Then I would like to invite Mr. Arvind Garg, please welcome Dr. Anant Ramakrishnan, because I can't see Emmanuel ji. सुभाष पाटिल जी महाराष्ट्र के स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं, बहुत ही मेहनती इंसान, बहुत ही ज़्यादा सिंसियर हैं. आई रिक्वेस्ट हिम टू प्लीज़ वेलकम. प्लीज़ वेलकम डॉक्टर नारायण जी. Next, I would like to invite, we do not have Regina ma'am here. Do we have Regina ma'am here? Arvind Garg ji, National Co-Coordinator. Please welcome Vivekanand ji. We have with us Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, the Director of CBSE with us. Arvind Garg ji is welcoming Vivekanand ji. I request Dr. Mayuri ma'am, our National Co-Coordinator, to please come on dais and welcome Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, the Director of CBSE. Next, I request Mr. Vipin, the State Coordinator of Bihar, to please come on to the dais and welcome Dr. Prashant Kodgire. Prashant Kodgire ji is our national convener of Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan. Ms. Shyamla ji from Tamil Nadu, can you please come? Shyamla ji. Yeah, I request her to please welcome Dr. Brajesh Pandey. He is the controller of exam for VVM. I would again request Dr. Mayuri ma'am to please come on the dais and welcome Muralidharan ji. He is the state president of Kerala. Thank you all. Again, we will have one more round of welcoming, and this time we have a very unique book with us to present to all our dignitaries. So I would again invite some of our state coordinators to please come on the dais. And we also have a very important and very, very dedicated person with us. So I request him to come onto the stage and please gift this book to Dr. Murthy. I request Mr. Abga ji to come onto the stage. Without him, we wouldn't be having this. Okay. Abga ji is not here, so I am inviting Ahmed Ali ji from Leh Ladakh. He is the state coordinator from Leh Ladakh and he has done really tremendous hard work to bring the students here. Please welcome Dr. Murthy ji. Thank you. Then I have with me Dr. Sucharita from West Bengal. I request you to please welcome Dr. Anant Ramakrishnan. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Ashok Kumar from Jharkhand. I request him to welcome Dr. Joseph Emmanuel. Next we have is Miss Rajeshwari Pandey. And for the first time we are having somebody from Andaman Nicobar Islands. Please welcome Dr. C. Anant Ramakrishnan. Dr. Chandrabhas Narayan. I would like to invite Dr. Kamla to please welcome Vivekanand ji and Dr. Jyoti to please welcome Prashant Kodgire ji. I would also like to request Dr. Mayuri to please come and welcome Dr. Muralidharan. Thank you all, and thanks a lot to all the dignitaries here. And I would now like to invite them one by one to enlighten us with a few words. So first, I would like to invite Dr. Jarugu Murthy ji, in whose campus we are sitting right now. So Dr. Murthy ji is the director of IISER Trivandrum, where we are sitting right now, and he's on deputation from IIT Kanpur since 2019. He is in organic chemistry, and his special interests lie in organic photochemistry and supramolecules. He has been awarded many prestigious awards like Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, J.C. Bose National Fellowship, and he has been elected as a Fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences by Bangalore and New Delhi. He also is a Fellow of Royal Society of Chemistry and recipient of bronze and silver medals for Chemical Research Society of India. So I would like to welcome Dr. Murthy. Please grace us with a few words.
Thank you very much, madam, for your kind words. I'm in a really different state of mind. Very rarely we get to see the students in this age group of maybe about 13 to 14 to about 17, 18. Right? Similar, even lower. And I'm sure all of you know there is an institution for higher education, right? We deal with students after 10+2, all the way up to PhD. Then you have basically Bachelor of Sciences, Master of Sciences, PhD that spans about 5 years, and then postdoctoral subsequently. So we have students basically getting started at the age of 18 and going up to 32, 33, 34. So here, for the first time, all below 17, 18, young birds, my lovely children, I'm really enthralled to have you all on our campus. I really wish to congratulate you for making it to this national campus. And I think there is a big feat, I must say. I've been told only from every state about top few are chosen to make it to the camp here, which means it's a big achievement on your part. And my hearty congratulations. And of course, the proud parents, you are I'm sure they're all there everywhere. You are the prime reason why the children are here. And you are here, and I must congratulate you for the success, because you form the backbone for these children. Of course, on behalf of the IISER TVM campus community and that of my own, I extend a warm welcome to you children and your parents. I'm humbled by the presence of quite a few accomplished persons, and the persons that are kind of involved in dedication to sort of, this service, and the dignitaries on the dais. And of course, my fellow directors of educational institutions, but in particular, Professor Chandrabas Narayanan. In fact, he has been my longtime friend. We studied together, we did our research together in the Indian Institute of Science. He's been my longtime friend. Of course, my younger colleague, Professor Ananda Ramakrishnan, who took office as the director of National Institute of Interdisciplinary Science and Technology, NIST, the very popular institution in Kerala. And he took over as the director a few months back. I'm pleased to have with us the director of CBSE. We all keep hearing about it, and that is the fundamental education with which we all have come up. We welcome you to our campus, sir. Viba, Vigyana Bharati and Vigyan Prasad, the prime movers of these organizations, the fellow gentlemen on the dais, I welcome you all. With that said, well, children, the reason that you are here is for science, in quest of science, to upgrade and to enhance your understanding of science, or get introduced to science. I think you are young birds. I think upgradation comes much later. You're in a science institution, one of the only 7 elite institutions in the name of IISER. And fortunately, one is located in this God-blessed location. We have been endeavoring to make this institution something which has no equivalent in the country. That said, right, I have to speak for science. I have to arouse some interest in you guys, the young birds. It's for everything. It's the science, the prime reason. Your age is very too small to appreciate what science has done because you were born only about 14 or 15 years back. And to sort of get a feeling for what science has done to us, right, as you grew up, right, 15 years back or 10 years back, in fact, even to have a cell phone, to make a video call in a manner that you see other person with a high clarity meant that, you had to spend a lot of money for the cell phones. So I can tell you in about 2003, 2004, our salaries were only about 15,000, 16,000. And if I wanted to have a cell phone with a 1.2 megapixels, and I went to Singapore and I spent about 15,000 rupees, almost equivalent to my salary, 1 month's salary. And the cell phone had only 1.2 megapixels. Now, forget about it. 12 or 18 megapixels you get for about 10,000 rupees, right? And as you grew up, you would have seen people running to basically shops for charging, charge for 50 rupees or 100 rupees. Basically, the call time would run out. But today, no, we don't worry about it. This is what science has done. Of course, technology comes later, right? Science is fundamental for everything. You have calamities, national calamities, start off, or Medicare, healthcare, for example. And we have just been through, not over yet, the pandemic. Who had to produce basically the vaccines for us? It is through science. Science forms the foundation. It's indispensable. Just to appreciate what science can do. Of course, it is with scientific innovations that form the foundations. Technology comes into picture, bringing engineering designs, then you make a product. The product is the one that goes out to the society. The society is not happy, demands better quality, then come back to again science, then innovate better and better, and go through this pipeline of technology, bringing in engineering designs, and improve your product. And this is the cycle basically which has made our life highly sophisticated and continues to make our life sophisticated. And that is science for you. Given that, I think I must tell you, the future of our humankind is on your shoulders. It's you who have to basically kind of push the frontier of human well-being. There's no doubt. And presently, the humankind is faced with n number of challenges. And we all talk about climate change. We talk about, when you talk about the Medicare, the antibiotic resistance. For example, the cancer. N number of issues. And the major issue, is what? I think you're going to spend 2 days. The major issue is we are basically replenishing the resources in Mother Earth. They're fast getting depleted in our quest for better and better life. How do we sustain our better life? Sustainability is a big challenge. And the humankind needs innovations. The innovations must come from science. Right? I'm sure it's only the science that is a solution for the humankind. The organizers of Vibha and of course Vigyan Prasad have plenty on platter for you to kindle that interest in you, to arouse that excitement in you, and I'm sure in the next 2 days you will have a feast of this science and scientific experiments. I'm very sure, and I wish you all, the children, unforgettable and highly memorable experience from this beautiful campus. That said, for the parents, I think while the children engage themselves in the scientific equipments and the examination to declare the final winners, while that happens, I think you can wander around in the campus. As I said, it's a beautiful campus in a God-blessed land. at the west, at the feet of Western Ghats. You know, I have in our administration quite a few committed scientists, engineers, and the staff members with whom we have been basically, there's a new campus, right? The institute moved into this campus only in 2018. And I took office in 2019. So we have been in this basically effort of making this institution, as I said, as we go along, #1 in the country. So to the parents, please wander around, enjoy. I think the climate is a bit humid, but that's okay. I think mornings and evenings are very pleasant. Go around the laboratories. I think we have state-of-the-art equipment and infrastructure in the campus. Witness the science that is being pursued. While you do that, my sincere request is, we are targeting to become the #1 institution for science. The campus is beautiful, the infrastructure is great, and we have 100+ scientists who are really trying to push the boundaries. What you witness, get into your public media and make our institution known to the people. That's my sincere request. I'm sure you will enjoy the campus and wish you all a great time on IISER TVM campus. And of course, the program, a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Murthy ji, for this wonderful talk that you have given us, and also for letting us have our NLC here. So next we have with us is the National Secretary of Vigyan Bharati, Mr. Vivekanand Pai ji, who is basically an architect, and not just by profession, but also what he has done to Vigyan Bharati for us. So welcome, I would like to welcome Vivekanand ji to let us know a little bit about Vigyan.
Respected Director Academic of Central Board of Secondary Education, Dr. Joseph Emmanuel sir, Dr. J.N. Murthy, Director of Indian Institute of Science Education Research, Thiruvananthapuram, who is hosting us, kind enough to host us, Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan, Director CSIR NIST in Thiruvananthapuram, Dr. Chandrabhas Narayana ji, Director, Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology in Thiruvananthapuram, Dr. Prashant Kodgiri ji, Dr. Brajesh Pandey ji, Dr. K. Muralidharan, President Swadeshi Science Movement, which is the Kerala unit of Vigyan Bharati. And we have many other dignitaries here, faculties from NIST, from IISER itself, our Karyakartas from different places, coordinators, the future generation of the science and technology scenario in this country, some of the brightest minds in this country who are going to lead the science and technology scenario of our nation, parents and friends. I'll start with one small question to all our young colleagues. Who is the Indian physicist who won a Nobel Prize? Can somebody answer? Okay, I'm so glad, and I knew this will be coming. So we had a small experience. One of our yatras was having a function in one of the most prestigious engineering colleges in South India. There is an entrance test and everything, and the final year BTech students, one of our speaker was addressing, and he asked the same question to them: who is the Indian physicist who won a Nobel Prize? Not a single student can answer, unfortunately. It is not a mistake of those students. It points to our ecosystem of education, because it points to the kind of ignorance about the capabilities, achievements and excellence of Indian science and technology ecosystem since the ages, we say from the time of Kanada to Kalam. So even today, it is one of the more unbroken chain of excellence in science and technology. Why can we say that? There is one person, economist, Angus Madison. You can Google and see. He was asked to prepare a report about the global economy. And from Common Era 1 to Common Era 2000, he studied all the countries in the planet, and he prepared a report. And we can see from that report that Indian economy was contributing about 20 to 30% of the global economy, 20 to 30%, almost one third of the global economy, from Common Era 1 to almost middle of the 18th century. Can you imagine? Today we are struggling with below 4%, our contribution to the global economy. It is not possible to have that kind of a dominance in the global economy without a constant process of innovation, capabilities in science and technology. Obviously, that was the reason why Indian science and technology was, Indian economy was so far ahead for almost 18 centuries. And the situation changed after the British came. And I think many of you have seen the movie on Prafulla Chandra Rai. Vidyarthi has been running a campaign on that, in contribution of Indian scientists and technocrats in the field of struggle for Swatantrata. So, how this situation came about? Our founder, you must have seen him in the movie on Vibha, Professor K.A. Vasu, who again was a faculty in Indian Institute of Science. In the 80s, there was a program in Indian Institute of Science to, along with, he was a faculty and they had an opportunity to learn a foreign language. You can learn Greek, learn German, Japanese, like that. But he heard about how there were a lot of texts, lot of treasure in science and technology in Sanskrit. So he asked the IISER authorities whether instead of going for a foreign language, can I learn Sanskrit so that I will be able to go into these texts. But that possibility was not there then, and I don't think it is still there. And one of the reasons why we have this Atma Vismriti, self-forgetfulness about Indian contributions to science, is the linguistic barrier, because Sanskrit was one of the carriers. It was actually Sanskrit, when we look, all the Indic languages, language is a great science. And now there are so many studies which show how Indian languages have so much of commonality. Unfortunately, we are looking at the division of languages, but that is not true. There are a lot of studies about the commonalities of languages, and Sanskrit played a key role. And unfortunately, our scientific heritage is in Sanskrit, and we are far removed from it. I am today talking to you in a language which is native to 6,000 kilometers away people. There are people from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, which is much more closer than the 6,000 kilometers. But we are not able to communicate in a common language. Why it is important, I will come to that. So that is when Professor K.A. Vasu got in touch into somebody, and he went into these texts, and he found that there is so much of heritage in Indian science which is alien to our educational system. So he wanted to start something called the Swadeshi Science Movement of India. What is Swadeshi science? Science is universal. At the same time, it has uniqueness based on where it is originated. Today we are celebrating International Yoga Day. We know yoga is today finding acceptance across the globe. But at the same time, yoga, we cannot rule out that it has originated in India. It has very unique imprints of India. Like that Ayurveda. Like that every science, it has some imprints of where it has originated from. And that is what we call the Swadeshi Science Movement. And Vigyan Bharati is the organization for the Swadeshi Science Movement of India. And Professor K.A. Vasu came out with this thought about Indian heritage in science. Then it germinated in IISc. Then it took its initial these things in Kerala. Then it became a nationwide movement. And today it has an international imprint. Today we have 8 students coming from Qatar. There are similar examinations happening in all the Middle East countries. We have something called the Global Indian Scientists and Technocrats Forum, which has presence in US, UK, Germany, other than some of the Middle Eastern countries. So the Indian science is going, we are presenting Vigyan Bharati across the globe. And Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan is a flagship program of that. I will just mention about the importance of language also and then conclude. There is one study by Sankrant Sanu. He was the team leader of Microsoft in US. After 3 years of communication, one of his teams was working in Haifa. He thought, I will just go and meet them. He went there. It was working in Haifa University. He went there and he was so surprised that they were doing all the coding and everything in Hebrew. Hebrew was a language, it was almost non-existent in 1948 when Israel became a country. Then they revived it and they are doing everything, all their sciences in Hebrew. And whenever it has to go to some other country, they just translate. And he took a study of the population and the Nobel Prize winners. And he could find that Israel, Germany, Japan, today China, their science and education is basically in their language. So there is a connect. There are so many studies today. There is a connect between our capability to think originally and the language in which our science is doing. So that is why it is important, and the new national education policy has taken up this thing to teach science and teach up to a particular stage in our mother tongue, because that helps us to think originally. And that is probably one of the reasons. In 1930 you answered that C.V. Raman got the Nobel Prize. There are two other important points regarding that. He is the first Asian to get a Nobel Prize in science, and he is the first non-white person to get a Nobel Prize in science. And unfortunately, he is the only Indian to get a Nobel Prize in science, physics. Why it is so? Unfortunately, because we have lost the roots from 1880 to 1930. We had some of the greatest minds in science who have made imprints. Murthy sir talked about mobile, the basic of mobile, wireless receiver. It was first designed by an Indian scientist. Can you name? Jagadish Chandra Bose. He was far ahead of his time in the field of science. So that capability, Jagadish Chandra Bose, Prafulla Chandra Rai, Meghnath Saha, Satyendranath Bose, we have heard about boson. He predicted 100 years back that there are these things called, and it was named as boson, these fundamental particles. It took almost 100 years to actually experimentally prove what Satyendranath Bose had found out, predicted that time. Satyendranath Bose, Meghnath Saha, all these world-class scientists happened in India from 1880 to 1930. And when Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, another Nobel laureate of Indian origin, was asked, why is it that India has contributed so much during that period and why we are not able to do that? He answered, probably they were driven by a passion of national pride, and so they could reach world class. But unfortunately, so there is something lacuna here, and that is what Vigyan Bharati is trying to address. And we are looking forward to students like you to take pride in Indian contributions and not just latch on to that, because innovation is a constant process. Let us be innovative, be true to ourselves. Also, like Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientists, and he is one of the greatest human being also. So let us also inculcate the value systems that our culture provides the foundation for, and let us be great friends of humanity. That's all. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Vivekanandji, for letting us know about Vibha. And here now I would like to invite our national convener, Dr. Prashant Kodgireji, who is a professor at Department of Biosciences and Medical Engineering at IIT Indore. And he's quite accomplished in his field, as well as at VVM. He has been with us, with VVM for the past 8 years, rather 10 years I should say, and he is currently the national convener. I would like to invite Dr. Prashant.
Namaste. Namaste. Okay. You are still awake? How are you? Thank you very much. Professor Murthy, Director of IISER Trivandrum. Professor Joseph Inamuel is Director Academic of CBSE. Dr. Aran Ramakrishnan Sir, Director of CSIR NIST. Dr. Chandrabhas Narayan, Director of RGCB. Dr. Muralidharan Ji, State President of Kerala Vigyan Bharati. Vivekanand Ji, National Secretary of VIBHA. Dr. Brijesh Pandey, Controller of Examination for this exam. Dr. Murthy, Deputy Director of IISER. Praveen Ji, Arvind Ji, faculties, PhD students, MS-BS students of IISER Trivandrum, and my dear friends who are here for this national camp. Thank you very much for coming here, and congratulations for being here and passing 2 levels of examination. Indeed, you are winners, and that's why you are here. What a coincidence. VVM started its journey in 1999 from this state only. This exam was a state exam as Shastra Pratibha contest, and then it became a national exam. Initially it was a paper pen exam, and then it evolved as exam on digital devices. Since 2015, before COVID era, VVM became the first exam on digital devices. And we had altogether different idea than a regular science competition examination. The different levels. First level happens on digital devices. Until now, we were having this exam in all the major languages of India, 12 languages. Since last year, we introduced this exam in Sanskrit and Urdu also. So it is happening in 14 different languages. All the winners of first exam, they participate in the second level exam, that is the state camp. It is 1 or 2 day camp. This year, there were 34 different camps which happened across India, starting from the Union Territory of Leh Ladakh to Andaman and Nicobar. So, we are proud to tell you that this year, for the very first time, we had a state camp in Leh, in sub-zero temperature at -2 degrees Celsius, and some of those winners are there in this hall, participating in the national camp. We had another camp in the Arunachal Pradesh, Far East. We had yet another camp in Andaman Nicobar. These were the first state level camps. We could do it for this year. This year, this is not just a national camp for us. This is an international camp indeed, because students of Qatar, they are here participating with us and competing with all of you. So this is not a national camp, but it's an international camp of Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan. So it's a proud moment for all of us to be here and participate in this wonderful 2-day experience. Vivek ji told about philosophy of Vigyan Bharati and VVM. We know that the uniqueness of VVM is that 40% syllabus is on India's contribution to science. And we give emphasis for this in every level exam, whether it is the first exam, state level camp, or the national camp. How many of you watch documentaries on National Geographic's Discovery? Yes? Isn't it? Now, if you watch a documentary on, let's say, astronomy, that documentary will start in some country in Europe. They'll talk about what Galileo and all those people have done, and it will end in a West University in the US. What about contributions of Aryabhatta? What about contributions of Bhaskaracharya? India was an amazing land in terms of music, in terms of arts, in terms of complex mathematics, in terms of Ayurveda, in terms of astronomy. Forget about West because they are not aware about what is contribution of Indians. Are we as an Indian know about these wonderful contributions? So VVM has an objective to not only produce great scientists, but proud scientists who have that feeling for India's contribution to science. And therefore, we have that particular component as a part of curriculum. And we have biography of Indian scientists, which is again translated to all these 14 languages, available to these kids as a part of curriculum, so that we get inspired, motivated by their life stories. VVM की यात्रा एक अद्भुत यात्रा है. ये यात्रा अलग अलग कमिटीज अलग अलग स्टेक होल्डर करती है. और मैं अरविंद जी का एक वर्ड बोरो करूंगा, आई विल बिकम वॉइस बॉक्स फॉर देम. The show which is happening here is happening because of 365 days, 24/7 hard work of different committees like state coordinators who help us in registration and outreach, who help us in conducting state camp. There is an academic committee of 40 plus bright scientists from IITs, IISERs, NITs, central universities who are helping us in creating wonderful questions for all of you. There is a core committee who takes care of decisions. But this last year was the first year we went a step ahead and had a student engagement committee. We first time introduced Bhaskara Fellowship. So all those winners of last year's camp, they were the Bhaskara Fellow. They got 2,000 rupees fellowship in addition to award money. And we had 1 week of physical internship in Delhi, where we could meet eminent scientists in multiple national labs. You will be lucky, winners of this camp will have an opportunity to participate in student engagement committee. All the zonal winners and all the Himalayas will get opportunity to be there for that internship, which will happen in the month of July in Chennai. And I'm sure all of you are excited. You probably are excited to probably see labs in IISER, but we don't have that much time to take you over. But this opportunity of physical internship in Chennai. So all those zonal winners as well as national winners, we will have amazing experience. We will take you to one of the best labs in the nation, including Sriharikota ISRO. So I'm sure you are excited for what is going to happen in next 2 days. It's going to be a 360-degree evaluation. NEP is talking about it since last 2 years, but VVM is doing since its inception. We just don't want to test your memory. We want to test your analytical thinking, your observational skills, your comprehension, your leadership quality, your creativity. And that is what we are going to do with the help of our academic committee over the next 2 days. It's going to be 2 2020 matches. 3-4 hours of sessions today and another 3-4 hour session tomorrow morning, and tomorrow afternoon we will have winners. Few of you will get some certificate and memento, but that doesn't mean that others who are not able to do it, there is yet another year, because tomorrow we are going to launch next year's VVM campaign, and I want as soon as that launch happen tomorrow, all of you will register for that and compete for the next year's exam. You are going to be winner. As I started saying that you are here because you qualified in the first exam and the second exam. So you don't have to worry about what will happen today. Just enjoy, observe, and give your best. Academic committee will take care of making results. Somebody will get certificate or not, but we should be knowledge seeker. That's the reason we are here, and we will ensure that you will have amazing, memorable experience in this beautiful campus of IISER Trivandrum. All the best for your examination today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prashant ji, and thank you for reminding the students that they know about Indian contribution to science, and thanks to VVM for that. So students, this is something that you guys know and ChatGPT does not know. Actually, if you test ChatGPT, they will give you only Galileo and Aristotle, all these answers. They will not be able to tell you the Indian contribution. So before I invite our next esteemed guest, let me just remind the parents sitting in the other 2 halls. Parents, आप सबसे निवेदन है कि आप जहाँ हैं वहीं बैठे रहिए. इसके बाद में आप लोगों के लिए प्रोग्राम है और आप लोगों के लिए लंच वगैरह का भी प्रबंध हम लोग कर रहे हैं, इसीलिए आप बिल्कुल चिंता ना करें. एंड जस्ट fasten your seat belts and sit there for the next programs. So next, I'm going to call our esteemed guest, Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, the director of CBSE. He's a PhD in Finance General, and let me tell you, that is the reason he is the force behind making it easy for you to make the payments at CBSE, which has gone online. So I would like to invite Dr. Joseph Emmanuel to please come and address the students.
Namaste, India. Dr. Murthy, Director of IISER Thiruvananthapuram, and other two directors of the esteemed institutes of science in Thiruvananthapuram, all the office bearers, the backbone of Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan. All of you are here on the stage and also as part of the audience. All the students, parents, and my dear students. I am associated with Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan, VVN, for the last 8 to 10 years. I still remember the day when Arvind Ranadeji, he is sitting in front of me, and some of the representatives of Vigyan Bharati came to my office, and we have been discussing. We are now with very few students to participate in this science level competition, and how to take it forward and bring large number of participation. So that is the day we sat together, worked together, and developed a strategy and make plans to take it to the masses. So now VVN has grown to all over India and beyond the boundaries of India, and lakhs of students are participating in the entry-level competition, and you are here are winners of the winners of the first 2-level competitions. So you are at the 3rd level. So congratulations to all the winners present here. You are the future of our country. You are the future of this country. Whatever you think, whatever you do, that is the way in which we are going to progress and we are going to conquer the world. If we wanted to see India as a developed country by 2047 or the 100 years of our independence, it will happen through the empowerment of our young citizens. So, teaching learning that is happening in the early years and the foundational years and the secondary years, and the level of understanding you develop in your interested areas, wherever you have interest and aptitude, that will help you to lead a successful life. So you are here to participate in this national camp. Some of you will win in this competition as well as selection process, and many may not get that chance. But that is not the end. That is only a beginning. Participation is more important than winning. So with a fearless mind, participate all the activities that is organized here, and at the same time, make use of this wonderful opportunity. Dr. Murthy has already opened the doors of the institute for each one of you and your parents. Make use of this opportunity. Go and see what are the departments in IISER, what are the area in which science and technology is progressing, what are your interests, and make a connect and develop an inquiring mind, and minimum 5 things you should learn from this institute before you go. Make it a point. Science is truth. And science with pride will make you sustainable as well as a great contributor for others. Whatever you do in terms of science will bring progress to the humanity, to bring progress to the society. Dr. Murthy has already highlighted you the importance of science as well as how science has transformed the lives of millions of people. If you have learned history, before independence, frequent famines used to happen in our country. Today, even if our country's population has outnumbered rest of the populous countries in the world and we have reached a population of 140 crore and above, still we are able to feed our population and we are able to export. How this has become possible? Have you ever thought about it? It's because of the scientific method of agriculture we have adopted. The science, the research that has been invested by this country in those areas. Similarly, in all walks of life, we are a space power, atomic power. What not is not there in our country. And as a young student, approach everything with an open mind. This is the time you should understand where is your caliber, what is your interest. Stay focused, avoid a distraction. It is not marks that help you to lead a successful life. It is the level of understanding that you develop. It is the connectedness of the concepts you learn with the real life scenario. That will help you to lead a successful life and happy life. Be courageous, be strong, be honest. Have love for the humanities, fellow human beings. So values, knowledge, and right aptitude and attitude. That will help you to lead a successful life and also help the people around you to be happy. So make as many friends as possible for you in this 2 days camp. Make new friends. Not only from your state, from other states. I addressed you with the Namaste India with a special purpose because children from all over the country is here. Think beyond your boundaries. Think beyond your limitations. Expand your horizons. Sky is the limit. The world is yours. So as a child, whatever you may choose as your area of life, you can be a good scientist, you can be a good doctor, you can be a good economist, you can be a good administrator, you can be a good entrepreneur, you can be a good mechanic, whatever you may do in life. Develop self-respect and joy in doing that work. That will help you to be happy and will help you to find meaning in life. Whatever small things you do, everything has a purpose. Everything will bring happiness to you as well as the people around you. So that is why in the national education policy, there is a specific mention about moving away from rote learning to competency-focused education. Teaching to test, teaching for examination. That brings a lot of stress. Examination and the result, it is an indication of the level of performance, but that is not everything. A poor student in terms of marks can also excel in life if the child is focused and has interest. Mark is not the end. Mark is only an indicator. So, very soon, the pattern of our examination are also going to be changed. The assessment that is happening in the schools, in the classroom, as well as in the board level assessment or the entrance level assessment for admission to higher educational institutions and all, it is going to change by testing your aptitude, skill set and abilities. All those assessments are going to change to test your level of understanding and your ability to connect it with the real life scenarios. That kind of an assessment, that kind of teaching learning method will transform the school education sector and will help the school education to provide better resources to the higher education. There is a gap already identified in the supply going from higher education to job market and the supply from school education to higher education. That gap needs to be bridged, and appropriate interconnectedness between the industry or the society and the higher educational institution and the school education should happen. That is the way in which we are progressing. In that journey, original thinking, creativity, life skill, values, social skills, everything will become important. In the coming decades or in the 21st century, the most important skill that is going to be valued is your thinking skill, original thinking. ChatGPT can give you answers to some of the problems you thrown to the system. But original creativity cannot be brought by ChatGPT. That original creativity still remains as a monopoly of the human beings. So anything that develops original creativity needs to be developed in your mind, and these kind of camps, competitions will help you to identify your right talent and right aptitude. Make use of this opportunity, this facility, and clearly understand what is the interest area for you and where you can move forward in your journey of life. My congratulations to Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan office bearers and Vigyan Bharati office bearers for your wonderful initiative. Your love for the country, your love for the young generation, and making them constantly understand the importance of our self-respect, the importance of our culture, the importance of connecting the learning with our roots. That will make a difference in our society. I'm very confident and I'm sure. And we will develop a society with the pride as well as lot of love and devotion for the great nation, our India. Once again, congratulations to all the winners, all the students present here. And thank IISER for hosting all the students and opening this venue to the school education sector. And this will connect the schools and the higher educational institutions. Let us take this journey forward. And at this podium, I also request Dr. Murthy to open this platform for our teachers, for bringing connectivity of schools and higher educational institutions. The teachers should also needs a lot of orientation.
We do it for Kerala teachers.
Yeah. So we have a program of regularly arranging visits to higher educational institutions. So you can also host these teachers from CBSE. CBSE includes government schools from 5 states. And irrespective of having state boards, many school boards, many states in the country have affiliated their school with the CBSE. For example, Andhra Pradesh has recently affiliated 1,000 government schools with the CBSE. Orissa has affiliated near about 300 schools. And of course, we have schools in India and abroad. And students from Qatar is participating in this camp. It's a very encouraging experience. Students from Qatar, can you raise your hands? Great. Great. I am sure you must be from which school? Different schools of Qatar. Great. So continue to participate and convey your good experience with the fellow students and teachers, so that next year from 10 to 100, you should bring 100 students for this camp from the entire Middle East. Thank you so much, and once again congratulations, and thank you to Vivian as well as Vigyan Bharati for inviting me to address you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joseph ji. This was really words of wisdom from him. And coming straight away from him, I'm sure it will affect you guys more. Okay. So the next person we have with us is another eminent scientist, Dr. C. Anand Ramakrishnan ji. He's an expert in chemical engineering and food processing, and he's the director of NIST, which is National Institute of Interdisciplinary Science and Technology, Trivandrum. And his research is in a very, very niche area, which is essential for all of us, looking at the way the Indian population is going towards diabetes. So his research is really very relevant. I welcome Dr. Anand Ramakrishnan. Please come.
Respected Professor Murthy, Director IISER, Dr. Chandrabas sir, Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, Mr. Sri Muralidharan ji, Sri Praveen ji, Sri Vivekananda Pai, and all the invitees, students, parents, namaste to everyone. Congratulations for all the students has passed the 2 rounds of the exams. It's really happy to see that how the way it has taken into the shape. Already all the speakers, earlier speakers has mentioned about how our country has come forward with the science and technology. India is such a country, when you put up the pressure, we try to react very fast. This month we are celebrating the Technology Day. When we are not got the technology, 1998, 11th May, we showcased the whole world how Indian science is. That's what we are celebrating. Pokhran has very clearly demonstrated Indian science, though we are celebrating the Technology Day. Not only that, today if you look at ISRO, it's doing wonderfully well, and even we are planning to send a human to the moon. Not only that, they are in the process of developing the electricity from the space to bring it to the earth. Think about it, it's an unimaginable thought of thinking, and Indian science is doing very well in all the areas. In my area, if you look at the food, 1960, we don't have to feed our populations in food grains. We try to import from Western countries. The scientists, Professor M.S. Swaminathan and the team worked very well on the ground. Today, we produce record number of food grains, 380 million tons. More than 100 million tons in the buffer stock. That's what we managed during the COVID time. First 3 months of the COVID time, the buffer stock of food grains will help to do that. Milk, we are the world number 1 now. Varghese Korean. Because of intervention, Amul Society has been created. Today you see that we are world number 1 in milk. Not only that, during 70s, just converting milk into the powder, that technology we don't have. We used to import all milk powder from Western countries. We started doing that same experiment in India. They laughed at us. India can't do that, converting the buffalo milk, because we have more buffaloes that time. You can't convert buffalo milk into the milk powder. Dr. V. Subramaniam from CFTRI Mysore, he taken the help of Indian Army to build the dryer. We converted buffalo milk into the powder. Today that is called Amul spray. We are the world number 1 in the Amul product. That's what I said. Whenever put up the pressure on us, Indian scientists always work and deliver it. That India is changing very, very rapid pace now. Today's India is not like a following Western countries. We wanted to recreate the history here. Before my generation wanted to go and settle in foreign Western countries, my generation wanted to go and study and get the big job in all the bigger companies, whatever you are seeing, that Google and all that. But your generation is not like that. If you look at the one example, till 2017, how many unicorns in our country? Only 42 unicorns in country. Every year, almost only one unicorn. Now, 103 unicorn in our country. Every week, one unicorn is coming. If you look at all these unicorns, comes from type 2 and type 3 tier cities. All are youngsters less than 30 years. How it is possible? You wanted to create our nation, the business here. That's what India is moving that rapid phase. Look at our pharmaceutical industry. When they put up the pressure, we developed our own vaccines here. 1 billion vaccine administered during the COVID period. Not only we managed here, we exported the vaccine to the other country. That is the strength what India has showcased today. Even G20, we are leading the G20 now. So the science and that what we wanted to deliver to the nation continuously changing. But this not only that, the problem also existed. Today we are the youngest nation in the world. Around 40% of the population around 30 to 45 years age. But after 20 years, look at, we are the aged population in the globe. Problem also going to associate when aged population comes. And another 20 years time, food grains requirements goes to the 500 million tons. Are we able to produce that much amount of the food grains? Question mark. Land availability. If you look at Kerala, we don't have the land availability. Most of the country, we don't have the land availability or production capacity. How we are going to meet out? Energy demand is continuously increasing. And CO2 emission is continuously increasing, and Western countries putting all the pressure on us. How we are going to handle all the things? Best thing, can we go for the hydrogen? It's possible. We have the water, we have the light. How it's easy to split the hydrogen into the hydrogen energy, but cost. When we can produce 1 kg of the hydrogen for $1, yes, we can do the better business here. We can export hydrogen to the other nation. Where is the technology? Who is going to do that? If I take the blood sample of this hall itself, I'm sure more than 40% may be anemic. Our nation is anemic nation. 52% of population is anemic nation. Who is going to solve this problem? I'm telling about pharmaceutical industry. 13% we have the stake. We develop the vaccines. Where is the API is coming? 70% molecule comes from the other nation. So that is the what address we need to do that. Who is going to do that? You have to do that. So that's what Viva is doing a wonderful job, bringing everyone, taking the young minds, training them. Next 2 days, learn the things. Bharat is an important one. This age, learn as much as possible, study as much as possible, move around throughout the globe, learn everything, come back to India, do the research, whatever the profession you are doing, make our Bharat better than ever before, stronger than ever before. Thank you so much for participating.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an inspiring talk. Do you think our scientists are any less warriors than our soldiers? Are they? I don't think so. I think they're as better and courageous warriors than our soldiers, and they're also saving us. So thank you to all these scientists who are here, and they're doing so wonderfully well. It really inspires all of us, right? So the next person I have with us here is Professor Chandrabhas Narayan. He is the director of Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology. I'm amazed to see that he's a physicist and he's a director of biotechnology. So this is actually interdisciplinary that we are talking about, and I, being a physicist, I'm really, really happy to see this. So let us welcome him. He's an expert at Raman spectroscopy, and Raman spectroscopy, you all should know, another big scientist who has given this big spectroscopy to the world. He works on drug protein, biological sciences, of course. That is what is his field of interest. So I welcome Dr. Narayan to please come and inspire us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm seeing that you're all tired already. I know some of you are sleeping also in between. I've been watching that. But I know we cannot hold anybody more than 1 hour in a place. And I'm very sorry that we are going way overboard. So I will also try to be very brief like Anantharaman just told. My friend Murthy, Anantharaman, of course, Dr. Emmanuel, then my friend, another friend is Pai, and of course a very inspiring way we were introduced to Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan by Prashant, the president of President Muralidharan, and we do have here other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and the students' parents. I would like to, first of all, I'm really amazed at the work done by Vigyan Bharati and Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan for actually identifying all of you. This is a big exercise. And I would say that this couldn't have been done without heart and soul built into this. And I would like to congratulate everyone involved in this. They really deserve a big round of applause. Again, I would like to congratulate each of you, including the ones who couldn't make it here today, who participated in this and went through this whole exercise. I would like to congratulate each one of you for actually achieving this. And again, I would like to request all of you to congratulate by giving a loud round of applause. I have 3 takeaways which I want you to take with you when you are actually done with this. The one which I want you to take very much into your heart is you should fail. Every time being successful doesn't teach you anything. You should fail and learn from those failures. And if you can learn from your failures, I don't think anybody can stop you. I say this from my experience of 25 years of teaching and around 8 or 10 years of working with students, that today we suffer from burnouts and depression. This is one area which I think our parents who are actually in this auditorium as well as in the other 2 auditoriums should learn, that do not push your child to actually be always number 1. We need to be allowing them to fail, allowing them to learn, allowing them to perform, and that is the only way they will actually be the best citizens of this country. The next takeaway I would like the students to take away from here is, you need to realize what is that makes you interested and keeps you engaged, and please pursue that. Do not get forced into a particular area because everybody does it or your parents want you to do it. Do the things what you think will take you even at the age of 80 working in that area. And that's what you need to decide what you want to do. So please do not be afraid to take that step and try to tread a very lonely path. And that's what all of you should be taking it with very, very courage, extreme courage you need to tread a path which is rarely treaded by others. So please don't be afraid of doing it and you will be successful. the major issue today I find with the educated and very talented students is that they would do an engineering. I'm just giving one example. They do an engineering in any subject. They may even do it in electronic, electrical, and communication, and then end up in Infosys. Right? Today, everybody thinks Infosys pays you heavily, so you would be done. I guarantee you in 45 years, you will be thinking of retirement. And that's what is bothering India today. Today, our botheration is of retired 45 years, 50 years, because after 50 years, they have enough money. Money is not at all a problem, but they do not have the motivation to work for anything. And that should not happen to you. You have to work till 80, 90, and 95. And that's what you need to actually aim for. And please try to do that. And you are capable of it. And that's what you need to actually choose the career. And you should do it. That's the second learning. And the third one, which very, very rarely most of you do. I don't know how many of you actually actively participate in sports. Very good. I'm at least happy that many of you are doing. But how long will you do that? That is what is the problem. You have to realize that whatever you are doing, include sports in your activities. And all the problems, whatever has been told, can be solved if you are active. If every one of you takes about half an hour to do an exercise and run and play every day, I will tell you, you won't be sleepy in this room. Guaranteed. You can come back to me in the night at 12 o'clock, and all of these people, I am telling all of the IISER faculty and everybody, they will be as fresh as possible, because all of them have to do this activity with them. If you include a very active sports in your life throughout your career, it is not to become a competitive sports person. It is to inculcate. There are two learnings which comes. This is the only place where you can shout. That is the only place where you can fail. And you are never judged. You are never judged, because even a Tendulkar can be a duck on the first ball and he will never be told he is a failure. Right? Because we can't expect Tendulkar to hit a century every time he goes, right? That is what sports teaches you, to be humble, to be all, whatever character has to be built will be actually built in a sports place. These are things very, very important to you. And that's why I would actually advise you, because our major problem is we are not eating well, we are not actually working hard, we are tired, we are not able to do it. All of that can be solved by this one activity which you can include. So these are the three things I wanted you to take home. If you practice it, I'm definitely sure you will do very well. In your place, I would never have been there. If I was doing all of these exercises, I can guarantee you I will never even reach this level. National camp, I would have never reached. But I could actually rise up and be what I am today is only because of that ability to actually work, right? Hard work always helps. So please bring in hard work into your this thing, not only trying to be successful. Hard work is very, very important. And most of the scientists who are actually in the nation working today, they are the hardest working people in the country. And I always bow down to all of those scientists, because today you are happy because COVID was actually attended to by these people, okay? So we should thank all of them. And IISER is one place I would be anytime coming. And this is one IISER, one of the early IISERs to be set up, and in a very beautiful place. And I've been seeing this from the day even the concept started. And I see a wonderful development, and I should congratulate Jayant Murthy for actually doing a wonderful job after his taking over and bringing this campus to such a beautiful way. So please go around, look around. What is most important is what you learned, can I actually apply to surrounding? Whatever I have learned, can I actually look at it and learn from the surrounding? Observation. If you can observe, if you can actually inculcate that observation of taking your learning and applying why this happens, why that happened, what is the reason this particular thing is happening, you will be more innovative. And India needs today more innovators than job seekers. So please believe in that, and I want all of you to be an innovator and giving the country excellent manufacturing capabilities. And today, we are actually looking at another area where very, very importantly we need to do. In fact, Anandaraman had actually alluded to is biomanufacturing. So we have a huge potential for biomanufacturing. Look at that as an opportunity, and please do consider that also as an area where we need to actually excel. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Narayan sir. And what he said just reminded me of a शेर. गिरते हैं शहसवार ही मैदान जंग में, वो शख्स क्या गिरें जो घुटनों के बल चले. So unless and until you try, you will never face failures. So that is what he talks about. And if you don't fail failures, you will know what success is. You will not know it. So here now I have with me someone very, very important. VVM नामक गंगा की गंगोत्री जो है वो यहाँ के जो स्वदेशी साइंस मूवमेंट है वही है. उसके जो करंट प्रेसिडेंट हैं, स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट मिस्टर मुरलीधरन जी, मैं उनको इनवाइट करना चाहूँगी वोट ऑफ थैंक्स के लिए.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, very important guest of this day, our beloved children, their parents, faculties and evaluators, coordinators, my dear friends. There will be some moments where you will not have words to express your feelings. So I am standing in front of you with such a feeling that no words will be enough to express our gratitude to those who worked, those who come for this inaugural function, and those who worked even more than 1 year for this camp and this success of this VVM. Nevertheless, let me formally express our gratitude to those who are assembled here. To start with, we should say thanks to our, the first citizen of IISER, Dr. Jarugu Narasimhamurthy, director of this institute. Without his help and guidance and cooperation, this kind of success would have not been there. Sir, we are very much thankful to you. And we have with us very important directors from our nearby institutes, Dr. C. Anantharamakrishnan sir and Dr. Chandrabas Narayana. Anantharamakrishnan sir is director of NIIST and Chandrabas Narayana is director of RGCB. And both of them are very well associated with many activities of Vijnana Bharati. Sir, we thank you very much for accepting our invitation and coming to this. And many of you are very much, depend on CBSE. And our chief guest, Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, Director Academic Central Board of Secondary Education, Delhi, has kind enough to travel throughout night to here from Delhi, and he reached on time. Sir, we are very much thankful for accepting our invitation. And Sri Vivek Dananda Pai, our National Secretary Vigyan Bharati has given you a very motivational talk, and he is the person behind all our activities. I thank him for the namesake, because otherwise he is party of this organization. And I also thank our national coordinator, Prashant Kodigiriji, Dr. Prashant Kodigiriji, Professor IIT Indore. And you know that the efforts he put on and the coordination he done to make this a big success and improving the VVM year after year. Sir, thank you. And best wishes for your endeavors. Then I have with me our Dr. Brajesh Pandey, Controller of Examination, Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan. He will be interacting you throughout this next 2-day session. Sir, I thank you for coming over here. And I also thank Neeru Bhagat, Mrs. Neeru Bhagat, who was coordinating all this inaugural function. And we have with us Aravind Ranade, our well-wisher and our associate. Then our national level organizer, Praveen Kumarji. Then all other coordinators of from the different states who were working, as I mentioned, throughout the year to conduct all these examinations and camps successful, and also helping you to come here. So I thank them for their tireless efforts, and also from district level coordinators also there. Then many other organizations from the Vigyan Bharati from different states have come to this place. So I can thank them, thank you everyone for coming over to Kerala. And all, before I conclude, let me thank all the workers of Karyakartas of Swadeshi Shastra Prasthanam Kerala, especially Rajiv ji, our secretary, then APCA, the national secretary, the organizing secretary for the 3 states. Then many other persons are there. I cannot mention everybody's name, but many of them will be interacting with you. So I thank every one of them. And also, in case any deficiency from our part, please forgive us. And whenever there is a problem, you come back to us, and we will be try to solve your problems. With this assurance, let me say best wishes to all the children for coming as achievers in this camp. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, sir. We will now have national anthem, and after that we have an announcement. So please rise for the national anthem, everyone.
तव शुभ आशीष मा